Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for this beautiful moment. My name is Ilham from SM Anak 5 Rekang as the Prime Minister from the opening team. Our motion today is this House prefers the strategy of pushing for institutional reform to address police abuse and misconduct rather than defunding the police. Before I begin my speech today or my argument today, I would like to invite you all to join us with this interesting discussion, interesting motion, and interesting problem. So the educators from the government team just now from the government said that you want to minimize the weapons and facilitations. I think that it is not good idea, but because you know that many cybercrime, I mean many crime in United States right now, it's not just about the crime like crime, but of course about the cybercrime, and we know that when you make minimize the weapons and facilitation in Indonesia right now, it not it didn't give the benefit for our country, of course, to make minimize to problem or minimize to crime right now. And just now you say that many crime in the street. I think that you didn't understand why many crime in the street, because if you just focus how to minimize the weapons and facilitations, I think it's not a good solution for minimize the crime in the street. It didn't give solution for crime in the street, but let's add the defending, not to make decreasing, minimize the weapons to make sense of security to community. So next, you have some point suggestion in our country. But in our country, from your suggestion, it has been applied. So if you just focus how to make this suggestion be applied in our country, I think you ignore that this police from your suggestion, it has been applied in our country. So the educators, we really disagree with this motion today because we have many reasons why we really disagree with this motion today. The first one is, in United States, it's different in our country. Not just about the culture and of course about the police system and the police system and government system. The culture USA and Indonesia different, right? And just now you said that majority police from the United States, majority from police United States is with a white color. So we open our mind, open our eyes that in Indonesia, recruitment be open for the all people in Indonesia. If you wanna be the police, if you wanna be the police in Indonesia or be the police force in Indonesia, of course. And the second one is, in Indonesia, we have supervisor for our police in our country police to organize to manage about the funding, about the police from our to manage and make structure about the police for our police in our country. So from the government theme, if you worry about the funding, how the police manage the funding, the funding, you worry about how the police manage, how the police organize the funding, I think you make mistaken. And the next one is the next program in Indonesia, especially for the police, is different. You know that in your speech you said that the police just focus how to minimize the crime. But I think you must open again your mind, your eyes, your ear about the program in our country right now, especially for the police sector. We know that in Indonesia, not just about how to erase, how to minimize the crime, but of course we have many programs like force, medicine, and sensor service to the community. Next, and I repeat again, let's add the fund to interest the police performance, not to be minimize the weapons, facilitation, and of course the funding for our police in our country. So the educators, I will emphasize again about the funding in our country, especially for the police. We know that when we make minimize for the weapons, for the fundings, for the facilitations, I think it not good. I mean, it not make good benefit for our country, right? But if you focus how to make our police be better than before, let give the what say let give the funding for our police. So why we say like that? Why I say like that? Because we know that when we police in Indonesia right now is good, I think it give benefit for development in our country, of course, because you know that Indonesia must have what say good police, good security system in our country, like right to make our country be development country. So the educators, I repeat again, why we really disagree with this motion today, not just about the different culture from the United States, but of course we in Indonesia right now, the police, I mean, the police program, the police condition right now in Indonesia is really different for the United States, because we know that Indonesia is very Indonesia have very many positive program than than others country, not just about the how to erase and minimize the crime, but of course how to make like pros, medicine, and sincere service to the community. So the educators, we have, we have solution from this our problem today. The first one is add the fund from the police. The second, we don't need to minimize the weapons and facilitation the police, but how to add the facilitation and weapons for the police, because it gives benefit impact for our development in our country. And the next is add the technology facility to our police to reduce the cybercrime, to erase the cybercrime police in our country. And I have closing statement from my statement today that the police are the separated of the state. If we make wrong decisions, the country will be destroyed. So the educators, I think enough for me, and thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and thank you.